let's make something. Today we're going to be making this little custom spoon for gardening purposes. So the first step is to go on and print out this little pattern onto some paper, cut it out, make a little stencil, and then use it to apply the pattern onto a piece of wood. Most of it is just freehand. Once you have the shaping and marks of where everything should be, come in and I draw in where the spoon part's gonna be. This is a 3-piece tool. It has like the spoon, the scraper, and the poke. This scraper is designed for a tray use. After I have the pattern on there, I'm going to come in with the plane to shape it down to size so that most of the material is already off and chip it up by hand easier. Always love planing stuff, it's very fun. Now these spoons are a little bit different each time I make them because I kind of change them for what the purpose is. But this next step, I'm coming in and I'm just carving it up by hand. And I left the spoon pretty bulky. I left some body on it. I wanted it to have some mass to it, just because we're more kind of like bowl users, more so than like rolling or something. So I actually changed the scraper part later because I realized it doesn't fit into the grinder and stuff, but that's okay. Each one of these is going to be a little different. So if you're like using a tray and rolling, I make it smaller. The spoon part is smaller. The poker is a little bit longer and sharper. So there's a little bit of variety in the intent of what the spoon is for, but the process is essentially the same. So showing it is all pretty much the same. At this point, I'm just coming through and getting most of the general shaping done, trying to bring everything down to being as symmetrical as I can get it. And then here I'm going to come in and I'm going to bring in the shape of the bowl, both the front and the back. And before we redraw in that, and later on we're going to come in and draw it back up. But I'm just going to go through and shape up that body, leaving on a lot of extra material compared to the ones you see in the back there. The next step here is to actually make the spoon. So I want to come in at some point with some gouges, but I don't have any of this size yet. So I came in with the Dremel instead, and it worked just fine. There's no problem to it. Different finish a little bit, but of course, got the job done, so good enough for me. It looks pretty nice. So after that, the last step is just the final shaping. So I'm going to come in with the file, and I'm going to whittle down the spoon shape so it's nice and thin and easier to use. After that, the only steps left is we're going to come through and we're going to sand it, which is a joy, and then we're going to do a layer of wood stain. At some point, I might come back afterwards and maybe do like some kind of protective coat, but I'm not exactly sure. This is the part where I realized it doesn't fit into the grinder we have, so I decided to shrink the width of the scraper. And I brought it all the way down, which makes it look a little weird because it wasn't quite in the design, but I will be redesigning this at some point to be more specialized for that purpose. But after all, that is really why I make these testers, just to see what problems I run into. I still think it looks okay. I take it down a little further than that before the next step here, sanding, which is, you know, everyone's favorite step. But I went through 3 different grids, I think. Can't remember what I ended up on. But at this point, I just went through, brought everything down smooth. You can see I brought it all the way down to where the body is for the scraper part. But these are, these are just little spoons that I make. I've got a set of 3 that I show at the end here. And I'm going to be making some more of them and just kind of trying to really reel in that design, like little problems like this. I'm going to make a new one for grinder use, and I'm going to make another one for tray use, and so on, just so I can figure out the best little design necessities. But if this is something that you're interested in, let me know what you think. Of course, I do a bunch of other projects that aren't gardening related that I'll be posting on, but this is just something I figured I'd put together real quick to give it a shot, because this kind of content is new to me. But this was fun. I enjoyed it. I'll be trying to posting at least once a week, so hopefully I'll see you again.